Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are today. This is Sunday. Just going to make a little update video for what we got going on for Miss Becky here. Tell you guys what we got, what we've got accomplished, what we still have to do. We'll look at the list and see what we've got. Just give you guys a little sneak peek what we got done so far. Alright, so as you see on the list here, we got to wire the trans brake, we got to rebleed brakes, possibly do the battery recolocate. You've seen we assembled the bead locks. I still have to balance them. I need to double check the rear and front suspension. I was able to put the trim on, which was meaning meaning the side piece, the side skirts that I have put on here. There was also a trim piece that was underneath that covered the fuel lines I had to put on. The trunk, we also put this piece of trim right here back on, and we didn't do the most expertise job, but this is what we wanted to do, and it looks good for us. I'm happy with it. Looks a little better than just a big old yellow hole sitting in there. We was able to, like I said, to put this little trim liner back on. There's also, I think there's one more piece inside that I need to put together, and then the center console's still got to go in. We did the trim. Here's the bead locks. I got the ring powder coated yellow. It's close to the car. It's maybe just a little shade, but when you put it up to the car, it doesn't look that far off. I'm sure you guys can see that there. But those are put together. They've got air in them. They've been sitting on the car overnight, and they still have air. They're not flat. That's together. Let's see, we'll look up on the front. We was getting ready to put the bumper on. We had it almost there, and then I realized I didn't have the bumper quick disconnects, which I'm going to put right here. In the hole. I drill a hole in the bumper, of course, and put those on. Got the front wheels mounted just because I wanted to get that whole look of the whole car there. With the front skinnies and the rear slicks. Looks pretty good. I think we're going to take the front off, and I might try to put the inner fender liners in, because I kind of want just a little cleaner look, and is what I'm going for. But back to the list. So as you see, the bumper's still on there. We've got the nitrous bottom mounted. Fender liners is a question mark because I'm not sure, because this list is for things to put her back on the ground so I could make it up to Dan at Pro Dyno to get her tuned, because as you guys know, I switched from the manual to the automatic, and I do have to do a few things, I guess, in the computer. I'm not really sure exactly what I got to do, but once I talk to Dan about it when I get there, he'll definitely let me know. But that's for that. Like I said, that's what the list is for. The fender liners is a possibility. That's where we were. It says check trans fluid before I put it on the ground. That's starred, just an X starred, whatever. The drive shaft safety loop is on the car. It is ready to go. The taillights were in, but they weren't mounted, so we put that in. The shifter hole, where the new shifter is covering the old hole where the manual transmission went through, there was a boot that went for the manual transmission, but there's not one for this, so I'm thinking about taking it off of the old and see if I can't rig it up and make it work, or maybe cut something out, have a new piece and make it work, or rubber or something. And then let's see, to pull a vacuum on the blower, because the car's been sitting in the garage for about a year. I just want to make sure that the pump that circulates the coolant for the blower is still circulating and working properly. And then right there it says check for wire and hose clearance. That is for all of the new wiring and all of the new transmission hoses and stuff that we put underneath the car. I had to make sure everything is tucked out of the way. That is actually mostly done. I'm almost done with that one. And then when we put the seats back in, when we put the new seats back in, the factory seat belts, we accidentally switched them for the rear. So I have to do that. Swap those back out. Check all the fluids, oil, coolant, everything's good. Parachute, it was question marked. James decided to wipe the question mark off. That's something that doesn't have to be done to get tuned, but to go down the track, I'd like to have the parachute on just for safety, I guess. Car's not going to go that fast, but we'll see. And then the factory parking brake removal, I did get that all out because I had removed the cables and stuff from when I did the bare brake conversion. As you see, I do have the bare brake conversion. It gets rid of the factory parking brake. So I had to remove all the lines and the cables and stuff, and I finally got it out yesterday. See, there's no parking brake in there. We got that taken care of, like I said, yesterday. Wasn't that bad, just a couple of bolts. Let's see, where are we at? And then the exhaust. The exhaust is one of the last things to put on, because just in case we got to pull the trans back down, because this trans brake wire up there at the top has been being a trick. I have it all wired up, so it's technically done, but I tested it and it didn't work, so I'm going to swap the wires around and see if that was the issue. So we'll get to that later. The exhaust, like I said, is one of the last things. And then right here at the bottom, you see it says Freedom from the Garage. That hopefully is going to be marked off before the Freedom 500 and Cleetus and Cars, because that's where we're going for Joe's birthday, which will be a hell of an event a couple weekends from now. Joe done ordered the tickets for us, and we're going to go to that. And here he is sitting out here messing with the turbo on his truck. He had a little exhaust leak, so he decided to take it upon himself to take turbo off and try to fix those exhaust leaks. But that's what we're doing on this Sunday. Just wanted to give you guys a little update of what we got going on. Hopefully you guys like what the bead locks look like and the trim. I think it's starting to come together. If I had the battery connected, I'd turn the headlights on for you and show you. Here, let me put the hood down and adjust the bumper a little bit, see if we can get a little picture here. Alright, so excuse the dust and the debris all over the car, but this is what she's gonna look like. I'm sitting on the ground. She's got a little black and yellow going on. I got these nice Carbon Creations GT350 style carbon fiber fenders. Also, it's a Carbon Creations hood. Like I said, excuse the dust and debris here. This thing's gonna get a hell of a wash and detail when she comes out. She's just waiting. She's just waiting. See, I got the carbon fiber caps on it. Those are just some stick-ons. I also have the it's Anderson Composites center console cover sitting there, and then this is the what is this? Anderson Composites rear deck lid. But this is the final picture. This is what she's gonna look like when she's sitting on the ground. But like I said, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and you'll hustle harder. Have a great night.